It's time for another Dirt Daily. And today's episode, we are going to talk about project car burnout, why you should have friends with the same type of project car as you, and how to put a side view mirror on an FJ80 LandCruiser. But first, this Dirt Daily is brought to you by onX Off-Road. onX Off-Road is a mapping app. It's an app, you put it on your phone. It has maps on it so you can find off-road trails, you can find places to go camping, go exploring, or if you're out in the wilderness and you're lost, you can fire up your onX Off-Road app and find your way home. So, but first, today we need to get this truck in the shop so we can do a little work on it. And it's gonna be an easy project, but there's a reason for that. Sometimes before you even get it into the shop, you have to do a simple repair. We're back in action. Buckle up for safety. This is my 80 series Toyota LandCruiser. I call it the Dirty 80. You've seen it on a couple episodes before. I try to work on this project every month. I try to get something done to it every month. But I have a lot of projects, and with having a lot of projects, I kind of get burnt out on things. And I'm sure that I'm not alone on this. I'm sure a lot of you, even just if you have one project vehicle, things don't go right, normal life stuff happens, and the next thing you know, your vehicle is growing cobwebs and you're not getting anything done to it. So, how do you deal with project car burnout? If you are like me, you probably bought this thing with all types of hopes and dreams. You're gonna do something really cool with it. You're gonna go on an adventure. You're gonna go rock crawling. You're gonna run the toughest trail in your neighborhood. You're gonna haul it to Utah and run Moab. You're gonna go run the Rubicon. You wanna get in the deepest, thickest muds and woods in your neck of the woods. And then you get it home and you're like, oh, this thing's awesome. And then you're like, oh, it needs this. Oh, it needs that. Wheel bearings, oh, axle seals, oh, head gasket, oh, whatever. And you just want to like put a lift kit on it, put a winch on it, put some mud tires on it and go four-wheeling, but it snowballs and then things happen. Your dog gets sick, your kids need soccer uniforms, your wife wants to go to Bali or Mexico or Italy or wherever. And all of a sudden, either the money's not there or the time's not there or both are not there. And then all of a sudden, your hopes and dreams are not there, and you're kind of getting burnout, and you're kind of like, I don't know. Do I really want this thing? I could just sell it and be right back where I started with nothing. Back on Facebook Marketplace, looking at other trucks, going through all new hopes and dreams. But this project is gone. Well, let me give you some advice. And I don't know if I'm the best one to give advice because I have a lot of unfinished projects and I get burnt out on all of them at some point. Every other day I'm like, that thing's for sale. I don't want that anymore. That thing's junk. Let me get it out of here. I just want to clear my space, clear my head. However, here's a little trick that might be able to help you further along your project, feel motivated, keep the excitement up. First of all, don't take on the biggest project that you've ever done if this is all new to you. Try something in the intermediate or beginner realm. Find something that's already running and driving if you haven't even bought a truck yet. Or if you like doing engine stuff, maybe find something that's already lifted and has lockers, and then you can just do the engine stuff. But try to simplify the project right out of the gate. If you're already past that point, if you already brought something home and it needs everything, find little projects that you can do to it, that you can chip away at it, that will make you feel positive about the project. For example, every time I get in this truck to back it around the shop or park it or move it, this mirror doesn't work. It's broken. In fact, parts are falling out of it as I move it around. And I was like, you know what? I need to just find another one of these. So I look online for somebody parting out a LandCruiser, and I talk to my buddies, and I have a friend. He has had a couple of these LandCruisers. He's worked on them for his friends, and he said, wait a second, what are you doing? I said, I just need a mirror. Do you know of a truck that has a mirror that I can buy? He was like, hold there. He said the mirrors on the LandCruisers, this model in particular, they wear out all the time. Go to this website, go buy a replacement mirror. It'll work, it'll bolt on. You won't inherit somebody else's problem because you'll just bring home a nice brand new mirror. And I was like, yeah. And was it more money than getting a used one from a junkyard or for somebody parting it out? Probably. I don't even remember what it was. It was probably $150, $130. I don't know. I should look at the receipt because I ordered it and then I just forgot about it. And then it showed up one day and I was like, oh yeah, I got a mirror. So today, I'm just gonna bolt this thing on. And then I'm gonna put the truck back outside and I'm gonna bring something else in here and work on it. But the point is that if you have friends that have the same vehicle as you, or maybe they've worked on the same vehicle as you, or maybe you're just a member of the 80 Series LandCruiser Owners of America Facebook group. If you find other people with a similar vehicle, you will find solutions that you may not have thought about. For example, I was going to just find another used mirror, and he was like, don't do that. Just buy a new one. They're not that expensive, and then you'll know it works. And I was like, yeah, that's good advice. And then don't be scared of just doing a little project. Maybe you've been at work all day, you come home, the kids are crazy, you have to throw a baseball or football with a kid until he's tired, put him to bed, and then you've had dinner, you poured your wife a glass of wine, she's watching Housewives of Lower West Manhattan or whatever wives watch, and you're like, I got an hour before I should go to sleep so I can get up tomorrow, go to work. What can I do in that hour? Just go out and find a little project like this. Now, remember the reckoning, something I brought up in a prior episode. The reckoning is when something comes along and it wrecks all your progress. It sends everything haywire, sends it right into the can, and you're frustrated. Don't worry about it. Just don't, it could happen, so then it won't be that bad. If it goes wrong, sometimes it goes wrong. But hopefully, I can just unbolt this, unplug this mirror, take the old one, throw it in the trash, take this new one, put a couple screws in it, bolt it in, plug it in, put it all back together, and I will have one less thing on the mile-long list of things to do on the 80 series LandCruiser. And you can do it too, whether you're building a Jeep or a truck or a rock buggy or whatever. Just find a simple project, chip away at it every day, maybe not every day, maybe every month, every week, whatever your timeline is. And once you kind of make those little steps, that's how you eat an elephant. You start at the trunk, and then you work to the tail. Nom, 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 nom. All right, let's find some screwdrivers and figure out how to get this thing off and get a new one on. With this mirror in the box, there was a little bag with 4 screws, all of them Phillips. So that tells me that I'm going to need a Phillips screwdriver. I also grabbed this thing because this is like a panel tool, and I have a feeling I'm going to need that too. So when I open this, like the door panel is already peeling away. This door panel is kind of junky, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Hopefully that is not what I have to be messing with. But there is kind of a plastic panel right here, which is right on the inside of where this mirror goes. And when I look at this replacement mirror, there's 4 holes on the back. So I'm assuming I need to get to those. So let's start by prying this little panel out. Hopefully it's held in with clips and I don't break them. Luckily this isn't like, look at that. Thing popped right out. And right there are 1, 2, 3, well, 3 screws. So for some reason this might be different than the one I have. Oh, and these are 10 mil. So even though I grabbed the Phillips head screwdriver, these are a little bit different. Let's go find some wrenches. Right here on the door is the mirror control. So that tells me that this is an electric mirror, which is good because the mirror that I got is also electric because it has some sort of plug here. Hopefully that plug is the same. Let's grab this impact. 1, 2, 3. 3 screws and a little bit of gentle persuasion, and this thing has come right out. Now, the wires for this drop down behind the door panel. So I think I'm going to have to remove this door panel, which someone has an aftermarket speaker on here, and who knows what else is required. I might get lucky and it might just pop right off. Or there might be some screws hidden in there, like right in that door handle there is a screw. What else? Oh, underneath the grab handle, there's another screw. That looks like a thing that would really do some use. Sometimes there are screws along the bottom. Sometimes you can just go around and pull the panel out. I wonder if I need to look inside here with a flashlight. Found it. So, let's look inside here. This makes it look like there might be another fastener within the armrest. I don't feel one on the bottom, but maybe this little pad here needs to come up. So let's grab our body tool and see if this pops up like that. Aha! Look at that. 2 more screws. One right there, one right there. Here's the other thing. If you're a member of one of those clubs, like your Suzuki Samurai Club, Facebook group, or etc., etc., this is another way that you can figure this stuff out. See, I'm just going at it, trying different things. But you can call your friend, the one that suggested where to get the new mirror instead of trying to get a chunky used one. Or you can go online, ask in that group, and you might be like, hey, how do I get the door panel off? How do I get the mirror off? And they'll be like, oh, well, you got to remove the armrest, and then there's 2 more screws hidden there. And then everything just lifts right off. Now, with the door panel out of the way, we can look inside here and find where the mirror plugs in. There's a wire right here, and there's a plug right inside there. And we just have to kind of fish up in there and figure out what little tab needs pressed down in order to unplug it. Voila! That came apart. It had like a male into a female, but then it had like this tape around it. So you had to kind of pry all that tape off in order to get it to come apart. Now, the next step is we're going to kind of look down in here and figure out how the wiring for the old mirror is routed so that we can, I see. There seems to be a clip that holds the wiring out of the way. I can't see it, but I can feel it up inside there. So that clip pokes through to the outside here. So, there. So you see this little clip? This is taped onto the wiring harness, and then that holds the wiring harness up against the front of the door. That might be to keep the wiring harness like out of the door window when it goes up and down. So even though our new mirror doesn't have that piece, I think I'm going to swap it over so that I can put it on the new wiring harness and everything will stay out of the way. Let's find a little tape. Well, bam. Put that little clip on the wiring harness, New mirror ready to go back in. Feed the wiring harness down into the hole so that we can find it there. Everything is going together great. Let's see, where are the screws? I'm going to reuse the factory fasteners. They just kind of look cool and they seem to thread right in no problem. This top one doesn't feel right. Back it out. Try to get it just right. We don't need to cross thread anything. There it goes. Again, it is not going in super smooth. Come on. Come on. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Bring our two wiring harnesses together. Plug it in. Take that little clip. Ow, bumped my head into the... Clip it back into place. The mirror is installed. Now, let's put this door panel back on. This door panel is kind of ratty and probably due to be replaced, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait to do that another day. But the cool thing is that now I know how to take it on and off for when I am actually ready to put a new door panel on. 2 screws go through these holes. Let's find our screw gun. Make this a little bit quicker. Cool. Put the little armrest back on. That's just held on with clips. Make sure all 3 clips are in place. And then go around the door and just knock all the clips that hold the panels back into place. Oh, we have this little guy, which covers up all of this mess. And that just seems to pop in right there. I'm actually pretty stoked because this is kind of an older car, and a lot of times the plastic stuff just seems to crack and fall apart. I don't know if new LandCruisers are built this well, but I can honestly say every time I've worked on this old LandCruiser, I've been pretty stoked with. I mean, it's worn out, but stuff is still in pretty good shape. How does this go in? There's a clip there. This is kind of cracked. I say it's in pretty good shape, but then like that thing's got a big old crack in it. So hopefully someday when I find a new door panel. Come on, there we go. There we go. Hopefully someday when I find a new door panel, I can replace some of this plastic stuff. But I mean, it's pretty cool that most of it's still working. All right, moment of truth. Oh, I was looking on the door, which I thought were the controls for the mirror. They're actually right here. So here is the moment of truth. I'm going to start the LandCruiser. Hopefully the battery will start again. Hopefully I didn't lose the key. Here's the key. I'll start the LandCruiser. I'm going to adjust this right here. And if the mirror moves, and the battery's dead. All right. I'm going to pop the hood, put the battery charger on the battery, or the jump box, start the thing, then I can adjust this, see if it works. If it does, cross your fingers. Not if it does, when it does. It's gonna work great. Come here, jumper box. Have I showed you guys this thing? NOCO boost. It's pretty good. I've used it to jump a lot of vehicles because everything seems to sit and get a dead battery. Just about ready to throw this away. But first, let's make sure the new one works. This thing needs one of those solar panels. Remember the M715 that had that solar panel on the hood that trickle charged the battery? I think the LandCruiser needs that. Because A, it's a LandCruiser. It's going to be out like in the Kalahari doing safari type stuff. B, I don't drive it that much and the battery seems to always die. Probably because it's got a clock, but I don't know. There might be something else, but it seems to just, like if I don't drive it for a month, battery dead. And it's a like deep cycle yellow top. So, all right, let's fire this thing up. Watch the mirror. Through the magic of technology. Here we go. Come on, mirror. Do something. Oh, oh! Oh, it's working. Well, it was. Ah, there it goes. Can you see it? Changing directions? Look, this is what it is. You do a little project, your whole thing, like this thing needs the interior redone, it needs gears and lockers, it needs like a new windshield, the paint job's garbage on it, but you do one little project like this and all of a sudden you're like, I like my project truck. It's cool. Like, and now I can see when I back out, I don't run into the side of the building or whatever. I can hook up a boat to it or move it around. So that's it for this Dirt Daily. Work on little projects on your project vehicle. Make a list of them, little stuff. It doesn't matter. Maybe you're peeling off old stickers. Maybe you're just washing it. But you do those things now and then, keeps your energy up, and that's how you eat an elephant. Start with the trunk. All right, that's it for this Dirt Daily. We'll see you guys next time. Woo! I should probably open the door in the shop so I don't get asphyxiated. Don't forget to use the 4xFred 4X Fred discount code if you sign up for OnX Off-Road. See you guys next time. Dude, look at this mirror. Beep. Come on. I know. What are we going to work on next, Batman?